Hey, what's up, YouTube? So today we are going to discuss Rihanna and the evolution of her career over the past 1 decade. Rihanna, who is formerly known as Robin Fenty, is a woman who used to sing and is no longer singing and has turned into a billionaire within a very short period of time. And I personally find Rihanna so inspirational. One, because she's a black woman, and because she has achieved so much within such a short period. So Rihanna has been identified as the first African American billionaire, female, I believe. And this is not a small achievement. If you know, billions, billions are not so easy to achieve. So one thing about Rihanna is she does not play about her money, and in fact that is what has brought upon this video. Of late, it's been said that she had this deal where she was given 75 million to advertise a perfume by Dior, and it's crazy. Can you imagine just getting 75 million to advertise one product, just one product? So I'm not surprised, because I feel like Rihanna has really evolved, and she has evolved to the point where she understands her worth, and she does not play about her money. She does not play about her worth. She does not take less than she knows she deserves. And I believe that because of that, she serves as a great example for the black community and many black women, because unfortunately, black women are so overlooked in the society, such that they tend to get less than they deserve. And seeing someone like Rihanna achieve so much financially and even on a personal level, it's amazing. In fact, in this new advert, she has been saying that she wants people to go for their dreams. And the main reason why Rihanna is so inspirational is she was not always like this. As you can see from the pictures attached, there's a time when Rihanna was actually going through it. She was really sad. When she began her career, she was as young as 18, and it was quite tumultuous. She had this relationship with Chris Brown. He ended up beating her up, and her pictures were plastered all over the news. Already just being beaten is so traumatizing. I don't want to get into the details of who did what, who was wrong. That's not why we are here. But the fact remains that such an incident is so traumatizing. So you can imagine how traumatizing it is if it's globalized and your pictures are all over the news for everyone to see. You can't even move on from it, because people always remind you, and they can pull up your pictures whenever they want to. And after that, she of course released more songs, but I could tell that she was quite traumatized. She just wasn't in a good place. She was using so much substances. She was just all out there. She was just not at her best. I would say she was being over sexualized, and I'm quite impressed by the turnaround she has made. Of course, right now she's not singing, but she's making more money than she was singing. In fact, her last performance at the Super Bowl, she ended up being paid again a huge bag, and it's becoming a signature for Rihanna that whatever she does, she doesn't work too hard, but whatever she does, anytime she comes out and does something, whether it's promoting a product, whether it's performing on the Super Bowl, she gets paid. And that's what we are here to discuss. I love the evolution of Rihanna. Rihanna has basically evolved from being a hustler. She has evolved from being that small town Caribbean girl who was relying on labels, who was relying on Jay-Z, who was at the mercy of Beyonce, who was at the mercy of Chris Brown, who was at the mercy of industry men. The way the music industry goes. So I think for me, that's the lenses I'm using to look at this. This is a woman who managed to free herself from an industry which, as much as we look at it from the outside and we think it's glamorous, these people know what they're going through. And I feel like she freed herself to the extent that now she can get paid $75 million for an ad. That's freedom. Maybe she's still in a 360 deal and she has to pay these people something for such an ad, but the fact remains that she does not have to do what she doesn't want to do. And I don't think Rihanna doesn't want to do music. I think Rihanna can't do music. I think, well, my theory is quite interesting. I think Rihanna was starting to become a competition for Beyonce, and Beyonce had her blocked from releasing music. And I say this because I've seen it's a pattern with very many artists who are dominating the industry right now. They don't dominate the industry because they're the best. They dominate the industry because they eliminate competition. So if this is the case with Rihanna, it's impressive that someone who was being bullied out of the industry because of the competition and threat they were posing, has ended up dominating another industry. I feel like Rihanna is very smart, and her smartness is underrated, and it helps her, I guess. When your smartness is underrated, people don't expect you to come up with the ideas you come up with or to navigate situations the way you do. And I think that has really helped Rihanna. It's been quite refreshing to see a Black woman rise to the ranks to which Rihanna has risen and come up with a whole brand of makeup and make as much money as Rihanna has made. You know, at the beginning of this entire makeup business, we had the likes of Kylie Jenner making billions, and people who have dark skin, they were not even being considered within the makeup industry. And then here comes Rihanna, like, you know what, I have this makeup brand that really centers on dark skin people, and I've used some of Fenty products, and I have to admit they are good, which is another thing which speaks to Rihanna's work. I've read a lot about Rihanna, and I've listened to her interviews, and I've heard her sentiments, and she's sort of a perfectionist. So when she starts doing something, she puts her work into it, and you just have to respect that. So I'm quite impressed by Rihanna and how far she has come, and just how well she has managed to turn around her life and her career. I believe that at some point Rihanna was hopeless. I think at some point Rihanna was hopeless, and I think she's really lucky to be where she is right now. I don't know what happened. There's this short window where something happens and Rihanna just leaves the industry, and it's like she gets a lifeline. Because there's a time when she was so angry and she was just so sexual, you know. I don't have a problem with being sexual, but the sexuality was too much. And right now, you can't even compare her to her peers like Nicki Minaj. Not that Nicki is not doing well. She's also doing great, but you can't compare Nicki to Rihanna. I mean, Nicki had to go on a tour for over a month and travel and do all that work to get money that Rihanna is allegedly getting after doing one ad. You can't compare. You cannot compare. So even the bag that Rihanna is getting right now, not only is she working less, she's getting paid more. That's a win, if you ask me. You can't even compare Rihanna to Beyonce, because Beyonce has been struggling to come up with a brand. She has Sacred. She had was it Ivy? Something Ivy. And you cannot compare the success of Beyonce's brands to Fenty Beauty or even Puma X. So I think Rihanna, number one, is very strategic. People really overlook how smart she is. Rihanna is those people who don't lead with their smartness. And I was listening to an interview about her, and the interviewer was saying that when they met Rihanna, she's not someone who leads with her strength. She'd rather listen than be like, look at me, me, I have something to say, listen to me, you know. And I think that Rihanna's fate also changed after she dated her billionaire boyfriend, her son Jamil. And I also think this was a strategic decision for her, because when you hang around such people, when you hang around with such a billionaire, he's an oil tycoon, you learn how people do business. You also get access to high levels of money that inspire you to want to be super, super rich, because it's after this that Rihanna started launching her Fenty Beauty brand. And I think as an artist, as an American artist, you'll think you're big whenever you're within that environment. But when you get out of that environment, you go to the United Arab Emirates region and you meet someone like an oil tycoon and he's a billionaire, you know, you realize you're just a small fish and you're like, you know what, maybe I want to be bigger than what I am. And I think this man played a big role in how Rihanna is approaching her business these days. This does not mean that I'm giving him all the credit. I'm just saying I think Rihanna has been very strategic throughout. None of what has happened to Rihanna is luck. None of it was accidental. This girl has a way of approaching her businesses. She has a way of adapting to situations. And I think overall she's also blessed. Rihanna is the kind of person, I think she has a good heart. And when you have a good heart and when you move like that, sometimes you just end up being favored and blessed. Anyway, let me know what you think about this video. Do you agree? Do you think that Rihanna has evolved, and has she evolved positively? Thank you, and please like, share, and subscribe. Bye.